Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house, and I got my old Top Gun hat on today. Feeling pretty damn bullish about PulseChain and crypto and the markets. Man, oh man, it's gonna be so good. I'm excited. Hope you guys enjoy it too, because it's gonna be quite the run. We're getting into some very special phases of the market. We're gonna be talking about Rack and Rochelle, the biggest whale in the market today. We're gonna be talking about crypto Banter, one of the biggest crypto coverers on the planet, pretty much. And of course, he's been talking about PulseChain. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at Fed Chairman Powell and the interest rates. Is he playing politics? You can decide. The other thing, of course, we're going to look at a few other things there. We're going to have Secretary Besant on the show. He's coming on the show, and we're going to talk to him. We're going to have him on the show. And what else we're going to get? We got some other stuff coming up. So definitely going to be awesome. We're going to look at all the PulseChain market results. It's going to be pretty exciting indeed. In fact, I used to wear my cap all the time, but it kind of feels weird wearing it after so long. So let's take it off and let's go all natural there. How about that? That's pretty much it. All right, so we've got PulseChain pumps, top PulseChain tokens. Crypto Banter talks about Richard Hart. That's our show today. And of course, don't forget, in 7 hours' time, I'm going to be interviewing the team from XUSD. You do not want to miss that. That's in 7 hours' time, and that will include Katie and others on the team there. So definitely you don't want to miss that. That is XUSD. That's huge. And we know Rack and Rochelle is number one holder in that project. So that is coming up in 7 hours' time. You can see it on the YouTube scheduled there under the live tab. Definitely check that out. It's going to be pretty awesome. So excited stuff here. Trying to sneeze here. We got some people in the house. We've got Goo God in the house there. Good to see the King community in the house there. Now, Goo God, you're crushing it out there, mate. Keep up the great work. A great example of project teams, what to do. Big shout out to Goo God out there in the King community. All right, what else we got? We got Brendan in the house there. Howdy, Superman. Good to see you, Brendan, our TA guru from the Discord from YouTube. He is the master of the TA, and great to see Brendan in the house there. Howdy. Go the Knights. Go the Knights. Down the Waz. Down the Waz. Down the Waz. Go the Knights. That's awesome. All right, so hope you guys enjoy it out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Should we get into the show? Let's do it and get into the chat there as well. Now, the thing I want to say is that we're going to talk about the socials. Get a part of our community. I posted this the other day. It's still very, very, very contemporary. We got, I think a hero is an ordinary individual who finds strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. That is from Christopher Reeves, of course, the great Superman. And yeah, we are doing a number of shows. We're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on X. We're not on Rumble today, actually, but we're on Rumble generally speaking. We've got X. We're also obviously on the socials. We've got the Discord is a private Discord. We've got a strategy club in there. It's like the top tier. And I put some alpha content in there the last couple of days. I put in the monthly report in there. I've got some good stuff going in there today. I got monthly report in there. I put in the top 10, which is golden. That's been going off like a rocker. And of course, man, you want to get into that strategy club. Links in the description. Only $35 a month. I mean, that's about as good as it gets out there. People are charging $3,500 for their strategy clubs. So getting on that $35 a month, great value. That also includes community membership, which is $12.50 a month. So pretty awesome stuff there. Now, to be a standard community member in Discord, only $12.50 a month. So get in on that too. And we've got all the stuff. We've got a crypto helpline. We've got all the resources. We've got an amazing bunch of people in there. So join up to the Discord today. Links in the description. We also have free new Telegram chat. That's 320 members. I think we're probably growing more than that actually since then. But that's the number that I had at the time. We've got a whole ton of founders and influencers in there. So if you want to meet and greet some of the key makers and movers on PulseChain, you should definitely join up to that. And we've even got others on other chains as well. Plus, we've got a free alpha list. You can check that out too. We've got obviously X Game Telegram. Get in on that. That link is there as well. And of course, we're really getting excited about X Game coming from Firewhale, another whale in the space on PulseChain. Pretty awesome. Now, if you're a project team out there and you need help promoting, well, we're offering a professional service now on PulseChain. As far as I know, it is unique on PulseChain. So you can hit us up, either MVS or myself, to get some promotional work there. Now, obviously, we do reasonable checks and things like that. But apart from that, you will, get great coverage across up to 35,000 people could potentially hear you and hear about your projects. No matter, you can have the greatest project in the world, but if you're not promoting, then it's no good. And of course, we heard Richard Hart talk about not promoting yesterday. He said that's kind of the number one thing, marketing, promoting, right? That we need to do from here on. So That's pretty exciting. Get on that promotional service, and we're offering that here with the Crypto Night Show. So pretty cool there. Now there's going to be more cool alpha and opportunities coming up. We're working on those. They're coming very soon. And of course, I love this quote from Richard Hart: "Stuff isn't the end game. People are the end game." So for me, my legacy is building community around with wonderful morals, wonderful values, and of course, wonderful performance. Of course, we're in crypto after all. A shining city on a hill. And I really like that one. That's from Richard Hart on the 11th of January 2022. And I think that was at one of the conferences as well. So kind of neat. And that was brought to you by the Crypto Night Show with our really cool imagery here. Woohoo! Look at that. Dang good. All right, so kind of nice there. I'm going to post that link in the chat if you guys want to check that out. I'm going to repost that too. Might as well repost that one and get in there. It's pinned to the top of my profile on X, so you can definitely join that. So join the socials. Join socials and become part of our community. We are growing, and you guys make a big part of that. All right, so let's get in here. That is the socials. Bang, 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 as we say. Let's see who else has jumped in the chat here as well. We've got a few others. We've got Up the Night, says Brennan. Up the Night, that's true. And Crypto Jack says, smash that like and subscribe. Absolutely smash that like and subscribe there. Crypto Jack's on fire with the old Superman as well. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's move on and get into the show. I'm going to talk about the stock market first. I've got to make sure I've got a number of video clips that we're going to be playing. So let's hopefully we get all that out as well. Now, the S&P 500, yeah, it had a little bit of rough start, but it's done really well for Wednesday. S&P 500 ends higher after wild swings on Fed and trade news. Now, we've got some cool stuff happening here. We've got the Dow Jones. Remember, the Dow Jones top 30 industrials is up 0.7%, 285 points to 41,113. We've got the S&P 500 up 0.4%, 24 points to 5,631. And the NASDAQ, with all the tech companies in it, is up 0.25%, 48 points to 17,738. So nice move on the stock market today for Wednesday. After, Monday, Tuesday was a little bit rough, but last week was pretty glorious, right, for the stock market. So, yeah, we're starting to move from that negative volatility a bit more into positive volatility. And I think that's only going to get better from here. We've got so much good stuff coming. Now, we're going to talk about the Fed meeting, so let's do that. Fed keeps the rates on hold, but we're going to watch a little video first, and then we might read that comment there. So let's bring that up of the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. Now, you can decide whether he's playing a bit of politics here because he knows interest rates are a key input into the U.S. economy, and by keeping them higher than they should be, then he's dampening down growth impacts, right? This is the nasty thing, because really he's a Democrat, right? So let's see what happens. They're supposed to be neutral, but I think these guys are playing games. So let's see what happens.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. Despite heightened uncertainty, the economy is still in a solid position. The unemployment rate remains low, and the labor market is at or near maximum employment. Inflation has come down a great deal, but has been running somewhat above our 2% longer-run objective. In support of our goals, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged. The risks of higher unemployment and higher inflation appear to have risen, and we believe that the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic developments.
Yeah, so I think 50% of that was very true, and I think it was a case for lowering interest rates. That was the first half. The second half was just some of it's just made up and just exaggerated around risk, and therefore it's a way of saying, oh, we're not going to lower interest rates, but really they should probably be lowering interest rates to at least 3.5% from 4.5 at the moment. And I think they're playing a bit of silly politics games here with this. And of course, inflation really isn't that much higher than 2%. And if they had anything like New Zealand, we got a range between 1 and 3%. They would be lowering interest rates again. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of silly games going on here. We'll see how this plays out on the next interest rate review from these guys. But yeah, it just seems really quite odd. And of course, the Fed moved very late in the interest rate cycle, and then they went very aggressive. In fact, record level aggressiveness on the interest rate. So we'll see where that lands on that one. Obviously, getting interest rates down is pretty key to make the U.S. economy thrive into that 3-4+% growth rate that Trump wants with the golden age. He's laying all the platforms for that by July. And so, yeah, let's see what happens here. A lot more pressure is going to come on the Federal Reserve. I bet you are behind the scenes there. and probably in public as well. All right, so that is from Jerome Fed the chairman there, Jerome Powell. And of course, that means we've got interest rates at 4.25 to 4.5% at the moment, which is kind of ridiculously high if you ask me, given where inflation is. So, keep interest rates unchanged Wednesday. It's growing risk of economic growth and high inflation. Leave the central bank rooted in its wait and see approach. And of course, I think that's complete nonsense. Committee is intended to the risk of both sides of the dual mandate and judges the risk of higher unemployment and higher inflation as have risen. The remarks suggest that the Fed isn't leaning towards rate cuts anytime soon. Even as tariff poses a threat to the economy, which I think is going to be short-lived, right? We're going to get all these deals out and all that stuff's going to just disappear. So let's see what happens in the next few months with these Fed meetings as that risk that they call will disappear. I think we all know it's going to disappear for a lot of players, not all of them, until the deals have been done, right? So let's see what happens there. All right, so that was the chairman there. Now let's have a quick look at commodities, and then we're going to have hear from the Secretary of Treasury, Besant there, Scott Besant. Now we've got West Texas at the moment is up a little bit, 7 cents, not much. West Texas at $58 and Brent oil at $61. Now this is the other key input into the U.S. economy, right? Is oil, and Trump's managed to get this down over $20. So. Trump's winning on this one and I bet you a lot more pressure is going to come on the interest rates. We shall see where that happens. And of course, those are the two key inputs in the United States that you want to get lower, right? Now, gold at the moment is down 0.25%, $8 at $3,383, and silver there down 0.6%, 19 cents at $30.60. That's where the commodities are at the moment. So, Trump on tariffs. We're going to get into that. So Trump said on Wednesday that he was not open to pulling back on 145% tariffs imposed on Beijing. Beijing and China is already signaling that they are capitulating on their position and they need a deal done because factories are closing, export sales are disappearing, all that sort of stuff. So they're definitely looking to meet with China and make a deal. Trump is keeping maximum pressure on them with the 145%. He was asked today at the White House whether he would reduce that. He said no, a resounding no on that one. So he's really putting the pressure on for that deal to be made coming up over the next few days. They're going to be meeting with the Chinese. So the remarks came ahead of the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Besant and Trade Representative James Greer meeting with their Chinese counterparts for trade talks in Switzerland this week. So that's all happening up, and next week could be very, very good indeed. We might hear some first sort of whispers of a deal being done with the old China, and that would wrap up all the pretty much the world trade. It's just a matter of closing those deals off one by one, and there's probably well over 115 countries with deals to be made. Trump is setting the tone. He really has. If he had a lot of cards before, he's got even more cards now. So there we go. So the two will travel to Switzerland on May the 8th. So that's tomorrow. So media reports said that China's Vice Premier He Lifeng, Beijing's lead official for U.S.-China matters, will meet Besant in Switzerland. Announcement of the talks marks a potential thaw in the U.S.-China relationships, which dramatically worsened in April as the two countries engaged in a bitter tariff exchange. Markets fear that the prolonged trade war between the world's two biggest economies will have dire implications for the global economy. Weak data points for the US and China released over the past week added concerns over trade-related disruptions, I should say. Now, it's definitely a really negative for China. And it would certainly require US to do some reorganization in terms of diversifying, which is actually a good thing for the US, and something hopefully New Zealand's going to do as well. Still, news of the talks comes just hours after the US president said he was in no hurry to sign trade deals. Just remember also Trump's got some big announcement coming up either Thursday, Friday, or Monday. And that's going to be a massive announcement. So we're looking forward to that as he goes to the Middle East, right? We also had, obviously, Apple. Apple fell more than 7%, dragging the broader tech market sector lower on concerns of growing competition in online search, just as Apple unveiled plans to integrate AI-powered search capabilities in its browsers. It's facing a lot of competition, and hopefully this is going to be good for freedom, right? Because we know that Alphabet and Google is completely rigged. The search engine is rigged, and it's particularly political interference at the highest magnitude. They've managed to shift probably 15 to 25 million votes, depending on which academic you ask. But of course, if you type in things like, particularly things on the right or things conservative, things even moderate these days, they will, they have rigged the search engine. So they indicated they were going to do that after Trump won the election. Remember back in 2016, they all got upset in the Google office. It was all broadcast. They said, all we're going to do about this is the worst day in our lives. How can we oppress the people? How can we get rid of this dictator and oppress the people? That's kind of the irony, right? But I guess they should watch that video back and watch themselves. But anyway, that's kind of what's happened there. And obviously, in the video there helped. Helped offset that with some better news around rescinding Biden era chip curbs as well, because obviously semiconductor is going to be a big part of where the United States goes there. So that's kind of the stock market there. We're going to hear from Secretary Besant. He was interviewed as well, part of the committee hearing, and he was doing pretty well there. Typical usual Democrats making up rubbish, but it's just the way to go there. Let's listen from Besant there on digital assets, which was kind of a key highlight coming out of that hearing.
Yes, sir. We believe that the United States should be the premier destination for digital assets, and as members of this committee and the Senate are attempting to do, create good market structure around that, so that U.S. best practices are used around the world.
And that's really the point, right, is having American U.S. best practices to sort of set the pace for others to follow, rather than us trying to fill in the holes that others that may be created as others set that pace.
Yes, sir. And also that digital assets are an important source of innovation that will drive that can drive usage of the U.S. dollar around the world, as with stablecoin legislation. There is speculation that there may be up to $2 trillion of demand over the next few years for U.S. government securities from digital assets.
So, I mean, you guys know it's game on, guys. You got to feel bullish, and some of the post videos are going to play next are hyper bullish. So you got to get pretty excited about where we're heading here. Very, very.
Expired.
All right, so that was from Secretary Scott Bessent. Now, you're going to remember Scott Bessent there is driving the World Trade Reorganization on behalf of Trump, along with a couple other chaps in the Trump administration. But it's game on. I've kept highlighting what that strategy is. Deal with the federal budget deficit, deal with the U.S. budget debt, total debt. So the budget deficit being $2 trillion, and half of that is in interest costs. And of course, the second one is the big debt, which is $37 trillion and growing. And of course, the third one there is the trade deficit, which is about $1 to $1.2 trillion. And so they're dealing with those three big issues right there. And on top of that, they're wanting to obviously grow the U.S. economy 3 or 4% or more. And of course, they require lower oil prices and, of course, lower interest rates. And the interest rate is the one that's sticky. And therefore, you're probably going to see a lot more stuff happening behind the scenes on that, like I say. And then, of course, they also want to bring in manufacturing back to the US, particularly to the Midwest. And so that's going to be pretty massive. And particularly, it won't be exactly what was lost, the 7 million manufacturing jobs over the last 50 years. But it will be a lot, some of that, like car manufacturing, but a lot of robotic factories, of course, AI, automation, chip making, and things like that. So it's going to be pretty high tech, ushering in the golden age of America, increasing wages for Americans as well, particularly those that have been, essentially abused by the Democrat Party and the blue cities. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see that. All right, so that is some of the stuff there from Scott Bessent. Now we're going to get into obviously the crypto market. So let's get into that too and jump there. So let me make sure I'm on the right tab here. Now, obviously, we've got the crypto market at the moment. So we had a good green day on stock market. We've also got a green day slightly here on crypto. We're now at $3.1 trillion, which is up 0.2%. So we've got a little minor green day here. We've got Bitcoin at the moment at $97,300, up 1.1%. We've got Ethereum at the moment up $1,818, up 0.7%. We've got XRP at number 4. Is at $2.13. It is down 0.7%. BNB at number 5 at $602 is up 0.1%. Solana at $148 is up 1.4%. Number 8 is Dogecoin there. It is up 0.7%. Cardano at number 9 is at 67 cents, up 0.1%. And finally, our top 10, Tron, is up 1.4% to 25 cents. So that's kind of where we are in the top 10. Best performer over the last 24 hours has basically been Solana and Tron, equally up 1.4% over the last week. Bitcoin obviously winning the day. Bitcoin dominance going up, as we saw, something like 63% is up 2.9% in the last week. So Bitcoin dominance still winning the day. Altcoin season, you can almost smell it in the air or something. It is coming pretty closely there. Over the top 100, the best performer in the top 100 is EOS. EOS is up 23%. Quant is up 19.6%. Hyperliquid up 9.6% for the week. Now, we've seen a number of those names regularly on a daily basis when we've been looking at the top 100. Stacks there is up 8.4%, and Litecoin there showing its position at number 5, up 7.6%. So those are the top performers in top 100. Top gainers at the moment, Agent Ted. Agent Ted is out there, 111%. Alpaca Finance is 57%. And Cato there up 60%. Trending is Cato, Solana, and Su there as well. So, Solana and Su making a bit of a move there and trending. So that's kind of the overall markets over on crypto. But we have some pretty bullish news about where we're heading with this crypto market. And I think we're going to go to full screen for this. So I hope you guys get excited. This is going to really about the bull market coming up. So let's check out this little video here. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020. 2021, off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked, just sit with it. Be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of the correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all.
All right, so that's pretty bullish, right? So the banana part, we've been talking about it, man. I said it's coming. It's coming. You can always see it. And, Trump's laying out, I think, the ultimate strategy and with the three-legged stool strategy we just talked about earlier. We've got money printing going on. Despite interest rates not coming down, we've got money printing going on. And the banana part of the bull market cycle is looking very close indeed. So just hold on to your hat, like he says. Get your positions in now, right now. And just get ready to, make sure the quality stuff and diversify portfolio and the good stuff. And it's game on, right? So game on. So, and look, hey, perfect timing for Richard Hart to come back, right? It is unbelievable, right? So if you see that picture, get very excited in my view. Now it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a couple of comments in the chat here. Let's get some of those. We've got Property View in the house there. Great crypto show there. Hey, thanks very much, Property View. Big shout out there. 100% says Jack3. And Radon is on fire there from Rick Pleb. Hey, well done to Radon out there. Craig Pittenhouse there. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Hexagrator as well. Hey, gang. Great to see you, Hexagrator. LFG, let's go, says Crypto Jacks. Absolutely. That is true. Get the popcorn as well. I like it. So that's hyper bullish, right? We are there. You guys are at the right time, right place. It's going to be so much fun, guys. So much fun. Now, don't forget to share the channel around as well. If you're watching on X, just repost on X if you're watching over there. So that would be really helpful. Thank you very much. Great show as always. Thanks, Frank. Now, we're actually streaming to PulseChain X as well, another YouTube channel. today and yesterday we were streaming there. So big shout out to PulseChain Next community. Hope you guys enjoying the show as well. And yeah, not bad. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to get into talk about PulseChain, I guess. Shall we do that? We've got some bullish news around that. So let's get there and talk about that. So Rack and Rochelle is in the house. The top number one whale on PulseChain is doing a number of things to help PulseChain grow. Obviously, from investing to social media and now into marketing promotions. It is pretty exciting. So get excited, guys. It's going to be pretty awesome. Rackhammer says, I think we all know what's coming. And of course, who's with Richard Hart? Stand up and like, retweet, comment below. He's got the dam is breaking. Things are about to heat up there. Now, I put in a little there, the movie sequel, The Highest of Stakes, PulseChain Rising. And I like to see a sequel with a real positive framework about the bullishness where we're going. Anyway, that was me there teasing there with the old Highest of Stakes, PulseChain Rising sequel. But that was pretty good. Now, that is exciting from Rack and Michelle. Now, if you guys want to repost out there, I'll post the link to Rackham's as well. We're working together, right? The whole community working together is really important there. So repost Rackham Michelle and get in there, leave a comment as always. It's time to get on the march. Get on the march here. PulseChain, we're at the right time, at the right place. It really does feel like things are turning. It's going to be pretty epic. And yeah, not just 2025, but in 2026. But I'm actually more bullish right through the whole Trump. The golden age is going to be incredible because he's going to be doing things no one's ever even thought of before. We know he's got a big announcement coming up over the weekend. I can't wait to see what that is about. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. All right, let's get into the PulseChain results. Now, if you didn't see yesterday, Richard Hart, of course, posted a big video out. Now, I have some big news around that. Not only we got Rack and Michelle out there, but we've also got some pretty cool things happening with other influencers outside of PulseChain per se. Well, they're kind of connected a little bit, but they have a bit of a history with PulseChain and Richard Hart, and that is Crypto Banter, right? Crypto Banter there is one of the biggest, crypto coverage influencers on the planet. They kind of do a news kind of show as well, and he covered Richard Hart's video yesterday posted. So let's get into that first before we get into the markets.
Some moves, DAX up to 12.41% per Pulse. Pulse and Hex, I think I saw Richard Hart actually did a stream. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the reason why Pulse is probably going up is because it seems like Richard Hart is back. I think I actually listened to his stream this morning. I listened to everything.
Hey, Richard Hart here. Guess who just beat the SEC in court and did not settle and did not have their case dropped? This guy, me, I did that. And you know why I did that? Well, 1, I'm innocent. 2, I've got great lawyers. 3, the government decided to bring a really stupid case against a really honest person. And guess what happened? The judge saw through it and dismissed the case in its entirety, something that almost no other cryptocurrency has ever achieved. And they didn't just charge me. They charged me, Hex, PulseChain, PulseX. They actually charged software as a defendant. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine math that you can run at home and execute on your own?
So Richard Hart is back, and that's why Pulse and Hex are actually moving. Generally,
all right, so that was from Crypto Banter there. So getting broader coverage, and Ivan on Tech the other day covering PulseChain and talking about Richard Hart. So things are getting back to normal, right? We're getting back to normal here, getting wider coverage as well. Now he's got something like 450,000 followers, so that's pretty exciting to see. See that, and I think Ivan's got, I don't know what's Ivan got, 1 million, 2 million, probably 2 million, somewhere like that. It's a pretty large community, so we're really getting some wider coverage there. All right, so that is from Crypto Banter, and let's get into the results for PulseChain. Day 727 since PulseChain was launched, and that was on the 30th of May 2023. We got PulseChain price at the moment quadruple 0304 is up 5.2%. Has been up double-digit gains. I don't know whether there's a bit of profit taking going on right now, but that is still up 5%. We got PulseX at the moment quadruple 0253 up 7.43%. And we got the total buy and burn at about 1.4 trillion. PulseX 7.08% of the public supply is bought up and burned. Incentive token $1.40 up 7%, and about 55 million in supply, with about 2,600 incentive tokens being minted a day in the farms. We got Hex at the moment, 6,300 a penny, up 8.9%. So Hex is the top performer today, and we got EHEX there at 2,200 of a penny, and the combined price EX and PX is sitting at 80. Let's say 8,600 of a penny right now, and still super cheap value to get in on these. So get it while you can. Now, some of the things that were in Richard's video yesterday, of course, teasing about, he was highlighting a lot of things, key things here. One of them being thinner liquidity, and he talked about words like God mode candle, I think it was, something like that. We could get a gold mode candle easy. Someone else picked up on a mention about him saying, $10 words. I don't know whether they're reading too much into that, but that was out there too. So there were a couple interesting comments. There were a few other interesting comments as well that alluded to certain things that have happened on PulseChain. But yeah, and of course, he said the whole community, what did he say, are sellers or something, or dumpers or something. I can't remember what it was. That was pretty fun. And yeah, he's basically encouraging people to buy and hold and spread the word. And that's what he said, get out and promote. So there was some key messages from Richard Hart, and said, hey, look, the liquidity's so thinned out that we could see a God mode candle at any time. And of course, as you guys know, the incentive token inflation was reduced 20x, and the hex inflation was reduced from 7.6 to about 1.7 hex per T-share. So that's been made. Those moves have been made this year. And so then he talks about God mode candles happening any time on thin liquidity. We've talked about that too, and it's nice to see him talking about that. So that was a very bullish sign coming out of that video, in my opinion. You got to be excited about that. We've got Crypto Jackson House, Richard Hart, King PulseChain, absolutely. And of course, we got Hardy Hexalorian says hi to our community. Hello, Superman. What a night! 50 minutes from the King. He's back and announcing that only marketing is needed. That's right. And we've got not just Richard Hart leading the way coming back, but also big whales in our community, and a lot of people in the community just stepping out, starting to step up there. It's time to be positive. Time to get the word out. Time to spread the promotions. Kind of on board. We've got obviously Sun Mini Meal with the Soul and the Banter on ramping coming. That's probably, I haven't checked that today, but that's probably close to being back up and running in its full sense. So we're getting there, man. We're getting there. Everything is happening. Everything is aligning. And of course, the bull market, the banana market, just ahead of us, it seems. So that is the market there. Let's have a look at the gas prices. Interesting enough. So he talked a lot about, being cheaper than Bitcoin, lower gas fees and stuff like that. Now, we know that's not really a selling point. There's a lot of chains out there with a lot of speed and gas prices. But we have a very good chain in the sense that it is generally cheap, and generally, it gets done in 10 seconds or whatever. So it's a pretty good chain. But what we have is a lot of other things. We have a lot of developers. We have a lot of DeFi and GameFi, particularly GameFi. We're starting to get a bit more of that now. But a lot of really quality DeFi. We've got a lot of utilities launching on PulseChain. So we have a lot of good stuff coming down the line on PulseChain. We have a lot of, I think, communities really getting more vibrant. Especially some of the small to medium. And as you guys know, we've just started a professional promotional service to help small to medium projects get up and running. That's going really well. We really enjoy working and doing that. It's a lot of fun. Hey, look, we're in crypto 24/7, and we really care about the PulseChain community and, of course, getting things out. So we try to make a win-win position for that. And it's time. It's game on. So it's game on there. All right. So that is kind of cool. Let's get into the validators. And let's have a look at 45,000 validators at the moment. So, pretty decentralized. And the bridge at the moment, almost $85 million. So we're up, yesterday we were at, I think, 83.6. So about a 1.3 million increase there on in the bridge value. We're sitting at 20.6 million DAI. We got 8.5, almost 20 million, 19 million, almost 90 million in EHEX value. We got FlexHex out there from Dipcatcher. He's playing a big role there. We got 14.8 million in USDC almost. ETH at the moment, 12.7 million. Coast is at 9.6. We got USD Tether there at 5.5 million, and 27 Bitcoin at the moment, sitting at $2.6 million. Now, some people have talked about, Richard Hart bringing over his wrapped Bitcoin over to the chain. That would be a pretty bullish sign. There's lots of different theories out there. It'll be interesting to see what happens in that space. So let's have a look at some of the other stuff we've got going. We've obviously got our liquidity forks, USDL, PXDC, HEXDC, and of course Ink Printer. We also got our Coast stablecoin, and now we've obviously got Sol and Sunny Minimal via Banter onboarding, and that's going to be really exciting to see Sol, get some value as it gets bought up and burned. That's probably pretty imminent in terms of being fixed up. So we're going to keep a tab on that. But yeah, and then we've got PUSD algorithm coming as well. I'm excited about that. That's going to be unique algorithmic. And of course, later today, in only about just over 6 hours, I'm going to be talking to the XUSD team with Katie and the rest of the team there. So you do not want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's in about 6 hours time at 7 p.m. New Zealand time or 3 a.m. Eastern time, I think that is. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. I think they're out of Europe, right? So they're based in Europe. So that's the time frame there. That's going to be pretty fun. So if you're in the UK, that's going to suit you quite nicely. If you're in the United States, it's kind of mid-morning, so it can be tough. But some people are up at that time because everything is open 24/7 in America, right? Just about. I guess some of the rural places aren't, but it's definitely a 24/7 in our. You can go to the convenience store and all sorts of stuff in America like that. It's some crazy different place for sure. All right, so that's where we are on the chain. Let's have a look at the overall markets. We're at the moment, we've got $23.1 million. So we're up a lot, right, on the volume. And of course, yesterday, we've been stuck around 10 to 12 million for about 4 days in a row. And now we're back up to 23.1 million. So that's good news, right? It's all not quite a doubling, but almost up 80%, let's say. We've got 400,000 transactions. Now that's up about 95,000 transactions from yesterday or the day before at least. And that's doing pretty well. So nice to see that. We have got some new tokens on the mix here. 11 hours ago, we got Your Mum in the house. Your Mum. So that's out there at the moment. Actually got pretty good volume, 39K over 18K liquidity. It's up 160% on that one. We got Dracaris there from the Hexon Dragon team. Big shout out to that team out there. And of course, they've just launched their new token here, which I think amplifies the Hexon Dragon one. And that has been around for 5 hours. So congratulations to that team. That is up 95% as well. We got the Teddy Bear team, the OG fork from James Maria. That has been around, of course, and that is up 31%. So pretty interesting move today on the old Teddy Bear. We've got a Troper, of course, from James Maria as well. That is up 17%. So it looks like James Maria there and their tokens moving up pretty strongly. We've obviously got the UFO and PDC teams moving up. They're up 16%. And you can see PDC down here as well, number 12, up 13%. So we got some of these, pretty popular tokens here on the move today. X token here, been around for 8 months, is up 16%. And we've got Hex, of course, sitting at number 14 here. A number of peers up at 12% there. Sparta, of course, pays in Hex, right? Burns, doesn't pay in Hex, but it burns Sparta and then buys Hex and puts it in the treasury to later, sell and buy Sparta later on and burn Sparta. That's up 12%. We got Top Hat there. Of course, we had the great interview with Crypto Coffee. Pretty much, I argue, the top influencer on PulseChain and has been a great ambassador for the PulseChain over many years. And his coin is up 12% today at 0.00, quarter of a penny, basically. And so it's doing pretty well there. Top Hat there. And a nice little tribute to Richard Hart. The timing couldn't be better in the market cycle and with Richard coming back. So well played there from Crypto Coffee. Check out the interview yesterday with him. What else did we got? PulseX as well, up obviously 11.4%. We got Pump Tires. So Richard Hart talked about Pump Tires on his video yesterday, and Pump Tires there up 11% there with the main coin at the 1.3 cents. BFF there from Finvestor is up 10.7%. So we do have a printer tokens around. Printer tokens have been hit recently, in the last several days. So we'll see what happens with the print tokens as they move forward with the PulseChain. Obviously, a lot of people do cycle back into some of the Richard Hart coins and stuff like that, depending on the news, and they can tend to take off. Stem token, of course, up 10%. What else? There's SolidX from the other big whale. We talked about Rack and Rochelle today, but obviously Firewell is out there doing SolidX and X Game. As you guys know, we're very excited about that. That's up 10% to set $9.30. In fact, this was down at $7, just over $7. Now it's up at $9.30 and within a couple of days. So a nice move there from the old SolidX. Let's scroll down here a bit further. X Game is not following, not far behind SolidX, and that's up 9.9%. As I say, if you haven't joined our X Game community, I do really encourage you to do that. And we've got the socials up at the top there. On the socials there, you can join our X Game Telegram along with the rest of our socials on Discord as well. So definitely join up to that. That is right there, and you can get all the links on there. Right, what else we got going? We got APC, our Apine Pulse, been around for over a year. This is up 9.5%. Up token there, Up X is leveraged on Pulse, and that is from a well-known community member, Haunted, who does have got several projects, including I think Validator X for PulseChain validating, and you can earn pretty high returns with those as well. That is doing pretty well. What else we got going? We got PMX 500. This was top of the leaderboard yesterday. This is still up 9% though, so not too bad. And then we got Gas Money Printer, which is up 8.7%. So we have got a little bit of rebound on Gas Money. Let's have a quick look at that. You earn Pulse, of course, typically holding that. I'm not sure what the yield is at the moment. Obviously, the volumes are down quite a bit. We've still got $500,000, so it's nothing to sneeze at, right? $500,000 on 1 million, so still doing pretty well. Does look like it's found a bit of a floor here on Gas Money, and this is on our alpha list in Telegram, which is a free alpha list there, and it's got conservative crypto up to speculative crypto opportunities on it, but this is one of them with these printer tokens. We'll see how that goes. That's still holding out relatively. What else? We've got Loan Token from Liquid Loans, the third biggest sacrifice, right? $52 million. And that is up 8%. So, like I say, a lot of the DeFi projects that are pretty large, and particularly some of the sacrifice projects, they have been kind of left to the side for a long time, as we've had new categories really pump, like pump tires, like printer tokens, like new DAO tokens and things like that, game tokens. But I think they're all going to have their day in the sun. All the DEXs and a lot of these top DeFi protocols are probably going to get re-looked at and then start rallying potentially into our uptrend that we're expecting for PulseChain. So that's kind of where I think we're heading for that. What else we got going in the market performance? Let's see. Let's scroll down here again. We got Lady Gaga up 7% there. We've got lots of coins, they're kind of up, and as you would expect with Rich Hart coming back with a more positive environment in the markets, crypto and stocks. Jupiter as well, up 7% there. What else? Teddy Takeover. Teddy Takeover has been doing pretty damn well, right? This is it's down here at number 60 today, but actually was doing pretty well last couple of days. And look at that chart. Can't be arguing about that too much. That's got Moon King, right? The biggest ex-influencer with, what has he got, 110,000 followers. So that's pretty awesome. And that is up at 0085. And of course, seems to be associated to maybe the developers of Mona Lisa ecosystem. We've had several tokens of those performing really well over the last week or so. So yeah, this is doing pretty well. Now we had the high in this so far of almost 9 cents, almost at 9 cents. Didn't quite get there. Currently at 8. Oh, sorry, what did I say? 9 cents. I mean 9/10 of a penny. It's at 85/100th of a penny right now, so not far behind below that top mark. And of course, is this going to break out? Is it going to start doing what OG Teddy is doing? We saw OG Teddy, of course, starting to rally as one of the top 10 coins today. Going to be interesting. The old takeover Teddy performed pretty well. What else we got? We got Most Token here from another pump tires. I've been around for 3 months, 6.7% there. A 9-inch. We talked about this. I think we'll get money rotating back into the DEXs. 9-inch, of course, have had a big sacrifice, $16 million to Hexy Bastard, and here it is up 5.7% there. So who knows what will happen with that in the future? I know Hexy Bastard's been on X, talking about a few things, so that could be really ratchet up there. And pretty exciting. And Pulse Puppy up 5.6%. Time dividend from KG and the Internet Money Wallet. This is definitely looking pretty good, about 5% today. Keep an eye out on that one for sure. We got Beast Token coming down to another printer token. This one here actually has sold off quite aggressively. We've got 68K versus 422 on the liquidity, and the price has definitely come down here. Is this where it's going to land? Is this where it's going to be able to take back off from here? I do not know. It's definitely settled the last 2 days around this range. The RSI has definitely hit the oversold mark on Beast, but we'll see what the team. You really have to get into Telegram with OG WebChef and see how that's going. But maybe it's an entry at this level. And let's what else we got. We got Teddy Takeover there. We got Dye, another pump tires. So we're starting to get back down into these categories were performing very well in the previous weeks. For printer tokens and pump tires. But now we see them down around the number 70 range, right? They're all sitting around here on the deck screen, a default view. We got Best Everything there as well. So you can see quite a few of these printer tokens and pump tires all sort of clumped up together. here. Then we've got 9mm, the other DEX, right? So we've got 9-inch DEX and a 9mm all sitting around here. Pretty interesting. And number 62 for 9-inch and number 76 for 9mm here at the moment, up 3%. So that's kind of, we've got Dominance, another printer token from OG WebChef. We've got Nope token from Randy Alaski. So we've got an influencer token here. We haven't seen a lot of influencer tokens on this list for a while, but we got Nope token there for Randy Alaski. Obviously, very good friends with Firewell, SolidX, and X Game. A big shout out to Randy out there. We've got what else there? Love token, Pump Tires, Gas Station, another OG WebChef, Incognito out there as well. Remember another OG WebChef there. Saul Sunny Meal sitting at 7 cents at the moment. And of course, this is the big on-ramp, and they've had a few little issues just getting over the line. But you guys know this is going to be burning. That stuff's coming over from the company. 20% of the revenue going to be buying and burning the Soil token. So keep a lookout for this thing. This could be a multi-billion-dollar valuation coming up. We're at 355 million on this one, and look at that chart, looking pretty good. Had a bit of a comeback. It's peaked out at 7500th of a penny, and 7.5 cents, I should say. It is now down at 7.1 cents, so not far off the top. And how high is this going to go? Well, could be very high indeed. Keep a lookout for that. Now, obviously, not market predictions, but it's got the fundamentals coming on there with the old buy and burn and all that corporate revenue. Going to be fun to see. So it's kind of it on the top 100 we're going through. We've got Mooney Lisa here. There's this other ecosystem, kind of like an Atropa ecosystem, tended to get an LP with Teddy Takeover, and that is down at number 90 today, sitting at 0. Let's have a look at where it is. 0.0097. Let's quickly look at this, where this token is at the moment. We'll go log chart. So I mean, it's still not looking too bad, right? Had a top out at 1400th of a penny, came all the way down to 700th of a penny. Now back at 9700th of a penny, I guess, is the mark there. Starting to come back up. We'll see. Got a lot of other tokens related to that as well, like Frank's just below it. Pretty interesting. And what else? We saw King token from Good God there link up with some of these peers, right? On the back of that as a second layer of webbing. I'm not sure how thick that liquidity has become, but that's definitely an interesting strategy to amplify the old King ecosystem. We've got Missile Dominance down there as well. Those are all OG WebChefs. And then finally, we got Secret Conspiracy at the bottom, number 100. Man, we went through the whole 100 list today. That is crazy. We are crazy. We are crazy, but it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. All right, what else we got? We got a couple of comments in here. Let's get into it, and let's go back to the chat here. So that was PulseChain performance at the moment. Are we going to start seeing where we go? Are we going to start seeing parabolic weeks where we get 30-40% increases minimum on every day kind of thing for a whole week, and start re-rating a couple of X's in the week? That would be pretty fun. What else there? Get out and promote. That's what Richard Hart says. Get out and do the marketing and promote. That was kind of the main point of the video, outside winning, of course, against the SEC, which was glorious, we must say. What else there? We got Nita in house. Good to see Anita. Big shout out. Howdy Hexalorian with the moon bags there. We got who else jumped in here? We got Wookie. One win does not make a season. I mean, you just do that on. Wookie does it intentionally. He writes really bad English just so I have to try and work my way through it. And I don't know why. The reason why I respond to it, because he's one of our moderators, right? And he's like an awesome guy, but man, he's just a crazy flipping alien from another galaxy. That's for sure. With some of that English. What else we got there? Soz got. High Expectation says Soros just got on great 24 hours so far. It has been definitely exciting. Things are turning, man. Things are turning. Wookie is on the motorway. That might explain it as well. What are you doing on the motorway, man? You're supposed to be on the skateboard. So it says skateboard. All right. So we got the Clintrons out there. G'day, folks. Good to see Clintrons. Cheers for the gifted membership, says Clintrons. You're most welcome. And a big thanks to Brian for that. Brian's one of our two community leaders, along with Wookie. And man, he is very, very generous. So thank you to Brian, and congratulations, Clintrons, for that. If you guys want to, you can join the YouTube membership. I think the link's there to subscribe. Is it subscribe or membership? I can't remember what it's called now. But you can join up on YouTube, or you can just join into our Discord, which is probably a better solution, and get involved in Discord. And the links to that in the video description, as well as posting all the socials there. I posted the X post there. That's pinned to the top of my profile. As you guys know, I'm rebuilding my X profile because my old one got taken down for no good reason, usual stuff. and then I appealed it like 10 times, heard crickets, no one answered, and so that was just that. So pulled down for no good reason, and no reasons at all, actually. And then I couldn't get it back in it, and it was quite a fairly large channel too, and so I'm starting again from scratch. That's the way it goes. But that's the old spirit, right? You get back up, right? That's in life, right? You get back up and you get back up again. You get pushed down, you get back up again. You get pushed down, that's the way you do it. If you got that sort of fighting spirit, you can do anything, right? And I think that's something that President Donald Trump said in an interview at the Oval Office, was that, he sees so many people give up. They get 90% the way there. They just need to stay up for 10% more and they'll make it, this kind of thing. So it's just that's a good spirit to have there. And as I posted in this post here, actually, with Christopher Reeves talking about, real heroes are people that, pretty much overcome those challenges in life. So get on there. This is one perspective on it anyway. All right. So there we go. That is pretty exciting. Hey, look, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. We're definitely up to 51 minutes right now. We've got about almost 100 people watching. So a big shout out there. And what's going to say was that, we've got a lot of opportunities in crypto right now. This is the time. This is a real time to make sure you've got your bags packed for the crypto. Have a diversified portfolio. Make sure you got a lot of quality projects in your portfolio that are going to go up. And yeah, we've definitely listed a lot of those in the strategy club. So you definitely can access that with getting into Discord. And what else? I think that's kind of the highlights. Yeah, we've got everything lined up. Trump strategy for the golden age of America playing out beautifully. We've got the turning point with money printing, and looks like we're going to get this banana parabolics coming up in the months ahead, in the year ahead. It's going to be pretty exciting. And what else? We've got Richard Hart back now. We've got all the whales on deck, creating value, investing, promoting, marketing, creating new projects. I mean, it really is exciting. We've got a number of projects and developers on PulseChain doing all sorts of kinds of projects, from oracles right through to ROI protocols. You've got a bit of everything, DeFi. It's all there, GameFi. We've got it all happening, and we've got so many big protocols launching. We've got big on-ramps like Sun Mini Mill and banks I cannot say that could be really, really huge. And of course, corporate, revenue coming over to PulseChain. I mean, we really got a lot of great stuff happening there. And I know that, that a lot of the influencers are doing a lot more. We're going to have a lot more influencers come back from the day. We got Jim Rat Crypto recently. Many others have been coming back and streaming, which is great. Getting that old influencer army on deck is kind of cool. But really, ultimately, it's the community, right? The community plays the biggest role. That's all you guys out there. If you're not, doing streaming or developing or anything else, you play a huge role. I cannot say it enough. It's just the old, you tell one friend, they tell another friend. And that's the most powerful thing out of all, right? So definitely is important there. So yeah, things turn around. It's going pretty positive. I think people can see a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of other crypto influencers outside of the Rec PulseChain community talking about Ivan on Tech and Crypto Banter and many others. Is going to be pretty exciting. We should also be targeting, Joe Rogan for an interview with Richard Hart. That's something that I've seen a little bit of. I think that's a really good idea. Joe Rogan or somebody similar there, maybe someone a little bit down the size level there. But any of those are a really good idea. So the community should definitely get out and try and get that happening. Yeah, let's bring it on. Bring it on. The Trump sons, they're open to crypto. Definitely hitting them up as well, and many other people related to that. There's lots of different, tactics to be done to grow the PulseChain community. But yeah, get excited, folks. I've got a big interview coming up. I had a big one yesterday with Crypto Coffee. That was so much fun to meet Crypto Coffee. I'd been wanting to meet him for a long time. Have a lot of respect for what he's done over the years, and he's been a very good ambassador for PulseChain. And never ages, right? Never ages. Always looks the same. And then we've got XUSD coming up today. That's only 6 hours away. Can you believe it? With Katie and the team from XUSD. Very innovative, volatile strategy to create XUSD, push that up through incentive programs up to $1. And it's going to be fun to see that play out. We already know that Rack and Michelle is holding number one positions and XUSD and Vibes, so related tokens. They have a whole LP webbing there that people get incentivized for trading. And they've got the old Viber pass as well. We're going to find out more about that from the XUSD team. Obviously, they were involved with the PDI maker shutdown and PDI. And so that maybe we'll get a few insights around that. The primary thing for the show, of course, is hear about XUSD, but you might get a little bit of extra, secret sauce about those sort of things that happen, and where, what's happening with certain monies and what's going forward. Who never know what's going to come out of the interview. It's going to be a lot of fun, but ultimately it's going to be good to see their perspective. What they got coming up in the future? We'll hear about that too. What other projects and things like that they might be involved with. What will happen with the XUSD? Will it get handed over to the DAO as anticipated? That's expected to come later in the year. So there's lots of cool things that we're going to hear from the XUSD team. I'm pretty excited. So look forward to that. It's going to be really good. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. A bit shorter show today, 55 minutes, but I'm doing a second show today in 6 hours' time. So there we go. I'll catch you guys all then. Definitely, you'll find that on the live stream schedule here on YouTube. We are streaming to multiple channels on YouTube at the moment. PulseChain X, Superman Crypto, and the Kryptonite Show. And also on X Live, so pretty awesome there. Haven't been on Rumble today, but yeah, we'll probably get on there back again tomorrow. All right, hope you enjoyed the show. Take care, everybody. Peace out, and have a wonderful day. Things are really turning for the upside, and it's time to get excited. Time to share the word, and make sure your bags are packed. That's the number one thing. Get yours. Make sure you got the right portfolio there. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next show. Lastly, bye and thanks from Hardy Hicks. Lauren, appreciate that. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now. Peace out.